Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 31 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you. We want to be your go-to resource for all things health and nutrition, nutritional supplementation. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you do that. Our number today and every day on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. That's 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls here in our second segment. We've got a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour, Dr. David Seaman, who has written a book called The Deflame Diet. It's all about inflammation and anti-inflammation. Really easy to understand, easy to read book, based on a lot of the ideas we talk about here on The Bright Side. Dr. Seaman is actually a chiropractor, and his website is deflame.com. Got some good things to say. We'll be talking to Dr. Seaman at the bottom of the hour. So if you've got calls, questions about the longevity products or business or any of the supplements we talk about here in the program or anything health or nutrition, or if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number, and we'll be talking to David Seaman at the bottom of the hour. If you want to purchase any of our longevity products, please go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase products right off the website, or you can call the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team by calling 866-735-2470. Or you can sign up right off the websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. If you're an entrepreneur, or you're entrepreneurially minded, or you like the entrepreneur lifestyle, I personally have been in business for myself now since I stopped doing mainstream pharmacy at Albertsons Pharmacy. That was my last regular pharmacy job back in 1993, and I've been pretty much an entrepreneur ever since, and I love it. You make your own hours, work out of your home, no boss, no clock to punch, earn all the tax benefits associated with having your own business. And when it comes to health and nutrition, if you join the longevity family, you can help change the world using nutritional supplements. If nutritional supplementation has changed your life, or if you're just the kind of person who likes health and likes nutrition and likes the idea of using nutritional supplements and health and lifestyle strategies instead of medical strategies to get better, and if you want to make some money at the same time, you want to join the Brightside Ben team, please call 866-735-2470 for more info, or sign up right off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Okay. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're talking about NAC, N-A-C, my favorite non-essential nutrient. It's a detox substance. It's a component of the body's primary detoxifier, glutathione. It's an anti-cancer substance. It cleanses out the liver. If you're an alcoholic, like you're drinking a lot of alcohol, or if you're just going out periodically and drinking alcohol, if you're on prescription drugs. If you're on prescription drugs, you definitely want to be on NAC. There's no question about it. Absolutely. And it's so inexpensive. It's crazy not to use it. We're going to talk a little bit later on about how important it is for brain health. We'll talk about it a little bit later about how important it is for heart health, how it can stabilize blood fats. And that's really what we've been talking about now for the last day or two, about this idea of blood fats and cholesterol, the cholesterol hypothesis, this crazy idea that somehow cholesterol is this evil villain and you got to lower your cholesterol. People are obsessed with their cholesterol numbers. Doctors are obsessed with cholesterol scores. You ever wonder why the cholesterol scores change every 10 years or so? How you need or you need lower levels of LDL and you need higher levels of HDL every 5 or 10 years or 15 years. It's just about drugs, folks. Who do you think makes these standards up? The drug companies, the medical model. They tell you how high or how low your cholesterol has to be. If they need to sell more drugs, they just lower the requirements, or they raise the requirements. Cholesterol is not an evil villain. It's a building substance, period. It's a growth substance. It's an anabolic substance. It's an important substance. It's what makes us different from plants. And its presence in the blood in excessive amounts is simply the result of bad living. It's not some kind of crazy mistake that the liver is making or that the cells are making. They're just stupid and they make too much cholesterol. This is what the medical model wants you to think, that the doctor is smarter than your body. No, the doctor is way dumber than your body. I don't want to pick on doctors. The medical model is way dumber than your body. If you are making too much cholesterol, it's because you've tricked the body through bad living into thinking that it's supposed to be in a growth anabolic building mode. And what does that? Sugar and insulin. This is why diabetes or dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar, and elevated cholesterol go hand in hand. Diabetics all know this. And the good news is when you stop eating the sugar, not only does your blood sugar drop, not only will your insulin levels drop, but your cholesterol will drop too. Test it out yourself. Go keto. Go low carb. Go paleo. Keep in mind, too much protein will get turned into sugar, and that will elevate your cholesterol, so you got to be careful there. But just reduce your caloric intake and your intake of fast-burning carbs. Your cholesterol will drop like a stone without a doctor. Or use chromium and vanadium and niacin, nutrients that help the body process sugar. And again, your cholesterol will drop like a stone. No statins required, no pharmacist required, no doctor required, no medical model required. And this is really the bottom line here, folks. The medical model is not our friend unless you're dealing with some kind of emergency condition. And again, there is a place for medical treatment, obviously, for infections, for emergencies, for catastrophic kinds of things. But when it comes to primary care, when it comes to biological markers for long-term disease, for risk management, it's not a doctor issue. And nothing exemplifies this craziness of medicalization. That's what it's really called, is medicalization. A guy named Thomas Saz, S-Z-A-Z, has written a lot of books on medicalization. It's this creeping nature of medicine, how it inserts ourselves into our lives. Not just for emergencies and for infections, now to tell us to put our seatbelts on. That's what medicalization is. It's the nanny state. It's this idea that we are too stupid, our body is too stupid, we need doctors, we need a medical professional, we need medicine. Check with your doctor. Make sure you check with your doctor. Make sure you ask your doctor. My doctor ordered me. My doctor told me. It's this idea that we are too stupid to do it ourselves and that our body is too stupid to handle its own business. Not true, and it doesn't serve us. And when it comes to cholesterol, once we understand how valuable this molecule is, once we understand that statin mania is counterproductive, it's anti-health, and once we understand that the reason it's being dispensed to everybody and that they want everybody over the age of 60 or 70 to take it is not because of us, it's because of them, so they can make more money. Once we understand all of this stuff, then we're going to know, then we'll understand, then we'll really understand how anti-humanity, the institution, the pharmacomedical institution is. Cholesterol is critical. It is estrogen, it's testosterone, it is cortisol, it is vitamin D. Yesterday I said most people will tell you, well, cholesterol gets turned into vitamin D and cortisol and testosterone. That's not a healthy way of looking at it, in my opinion. It is cholesterol, it is vitamin D, it is cortisol, it is testosterone, and suppressing it means you suppress all of those hormones. It's growth and repair and anabolic. It's building. Once you suppress your cholesterol production, you suppress growth and repair. You suppress anti-aging. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben here. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive pages at brightsideben.com, where you will find all the longevity products. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. You can also purchase longevity products. You can also purchase our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com, or Transdermal C Serum, Transdermal C Balm, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, and Truth Retinol 5% Gel. If you're looking for powerful skin health products, if you haven't been satisfied with your skin health products, if you've got a medicine cabinet filled with skin health products and filled with promises and filled with celebrity endorsements, and you're just tired of it, I'm tired of it. I've been in the formulating skincare products for 35 years. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. That's why I created my Truth Skin Health products. You shouldn't have to pay for water, people. You shouldn't have to pay for oil. You shouldn't have to pay for silicone. You shouldn't have to pay for fillers and waxes and preservatives and fragrances and things that don't do anything for your skin. It's not fair. It's not right. That's what this program is about. It's about restoring equity to the average person, to the regular person. There's so many things that are just not fair and not right. Healthcare, the drug business, the skin business, the food business, the little guy gets screwed everywhere. Everywhere you turn, the little guy gets screwed, but it doesn't have to be that way. If we just understand what's happening and we understand just a little bit about how our bodies work, that's what this program is about. This is the bright side. Simply by understanding a few basic mechanisms that are really just common sense, it's not really difficult, we can inoculate ourselves from the virus, the parasitic virus that is our medical model, our food model, our skin health model, our media model. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. We're going to talk to Dr. Seaman about the Deflame diet in our next segment. Time to hit the phones. Let's go to Kelly in Minneapolis. Welcome to the Bright Side, Kelly.
Hi there. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's going on?
So my son is going through puberty, and for the last 3 years, he's had gynecomastia.
Oh, no.
And
is he
I'm
eating?
sorry?
That's not a good thing. He shouldn't have gynecomastia. Enlarged male breasts, gynecomastia, that's what that means. That's a sign that he's getting too much female hormone somewhere. Unfortunately, not all that uncommon, because female hormone is a waste product of a lot of industrial processes, and soy can act like a xenoestrogen or a fake estrogen, if you will. He should be producing testosterone. First thing you want to get him, if he's probably carrying too much body fat. Remember, you probably know this, estrogen is made in body fat. Body fat also is a place or fat is a place where the body will store toxins, including excess estrogen. So he's probably overweight, correct?
He is not, actually. In fact, he's probably underweight.
And he's got gynecomastia?
He does.
Okay,
That's what our doctors diagnosed him with.
Well, does it look like he's got enlarged breasts?
It does.
Okay, so then there's an issue there, and the fact that he's skinny and has enlarged breasts means his body fat proportion is off. So he may not have a lot of fat, but he's carrying a lot of body fat proportionally. Does that make sense? It may not be like just in raw numbers if he's skinny, but he's got too much body fat by percentage.
It does.
So what you got to do is you got to get him building muscle. That's the first thing. Get him into some resistance training when he comes home from the gym. Have him do his nutritional supplements, especially protein, the B complex, also zinc, 50 milligrams a day. Have him sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine all day. Make sure he's using his Ultimate EFAs, about 9 capsules a day, especially when he comes home from the gym. I'd be using the Ultimate Selenium as well. Okay? So you want to be if he's a sugar eater, that's going to mess things up. So you got to get him. Then you got to get him to start weaning himself off the sugar. The body can use sugar for energy, obviously, but it can also use protein for energy, and it can also use fat for energy. What you want to do is you want to be shifting him in to more fat burning, so that he's getting more energy from fat. And the way you do that is by limiting carbs, restricting carbs, and also using protein. And it's not enough just to eat the protein; he's got to use it, and that's why the resistance training is so important. Get him in the gym, resistance training. When he comes home, have him do his supplements and get him as best as you can, because kids, like anybody else, are addicted to sugar. You got to get him to wean himself. You got to get him to wean himself off of the fast-burning carbohydrates. It wouldn't hurt him to use nutrients that help him process sugar, and that includes the B vitamins from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, chromium, vanadium, as well as the aforementioned zinc. Magnesium will help as well, and also selenium will also help, the ultimate selenium. If he just absolutely positively can't wean himself off the sugar, make him a fiber drink once or twice a day, either by using vegetable juices, which is like a fiber drink, homemade, or also fiber. I call it a fiber beverage, where you grind up flax seeds and chia seeds, and then add water, stir it up, and maybe a little bit of honey if you need something sweet, or cinnamon. If you use cinnamon, you won't have to use as much honey. Cinnamon will allow you to cut the sweet out, because cinnamon has its own kind of sweetness associated with it. You can throw in some clove and some nutmeg. That's what I do, and that's really filling, and it will kind of cut into the sweet tooth, and it's also a good source of protein and fat and other building substances. All right, make sense, Kelly?
It does, totally.
All right, take care. Have a beautiful day. All right, let's go to Carl, the Truth Raider. What's up, Carl? We're going to run out of time. Good morning to you.
You have a guest at the bottom of the hour, so I'll have to give my philosophical warning and report on my stepmom on another call.
Okay.
But this is the segment I wanted to share, my testimony about giving to live, living to give. It's a little poem I have.
Okay.
I give to live, being the Truth Raider.
Okay.
I go out and I tell everybody around that I know about anal cysteine, or how that is, or NAC. I tell them about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I even include vitamin B and vitamin C. I even tell them about the benefits of vitamin E. But when I go out to the world, my purpose is to make everybody well. Now, when I go to court, I bring in the Bill of Rights and Constitution and the true nature of the rule of law. I give them hell. I break down their statutory codes. So that's what I do, and that's all I have to tell.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate you, Truth Raider. Have an awesome day, buddy. Good to talk to you. Oh, I'm sorry, Truth Raider, cut you off there. All right, Don in Atlanta, you get the last word. What's going on, my friend? Oh, did we lose Don? Don, you there? Oh, I don't know if we lost Don. Do we have Don there, Blake?
Hello.
Oh, there. Hey, Don.
Hey, sorry about that, Ben.
No worries.
Quick question. It's almost
Yes, sir.
like a fill in the blank.
Okay.
Niacin does for blood pressure what blank does for the cardiovascular system.
Niacin does for blood pressure what niacin does for the cardiovascular system. Same thing. The blood pressure is the cardiovascular system. All right, but if you want, you're looking for, if you're trying to get out some nutrients for the heart, is that what you're thinking?
Well, specifically, I've been waking up with a little bit of pressure in my chest. I'm not sure what that is, and I love the niacin. Like,
it sounds like it's
blood pressure perfectly.
no. First thing in the morning, you get a surge of stress hormone. This is a good thing. Cortisol is what wakes us up. So you may be getting a little bit too much. So what you want to do is you want to start doing some deep breathing with first thing in the morning. And I'm not saying 100% that's what this is, but that's what it sounds like. You may be getting a surge of cortisol, and that's causing your blood vessels to close up a little bit. That's one of the effects of cortisol. So,
could it be from exercising too late at night?
Unlikely. Are you having problems sleeping at night?
No. I'm out.
You fall right asleep, and you don't wake up in the middle of the night? I would be blaming cortisol. Deep breathing first thing in the morning, relaxation, anything you do to relax the body first thing in the morning. Vitamin E is also really neat for helping with cortisol. 400 IU a day. Got to move, Don. Call back tomorrow, and we'll finish up if you like. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. Got Don Seaman coming up, David Seaman coming up at the bottom of the hour. Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive pages at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. You'll find all the longevity products, as well as a search engine where you can search various programs by topic. If you have a client or a loved one, or you yourself have a health challenge that you want help with, you can head over to benfuchsarchives.com or brightsideben.com and check out our search engine and archives. You can also purchase all the longevity products off brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. And if you're interested in checking out our Truth Skin Health products, never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, oil, water, silicone, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. Truth Retinol 5% Gel, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, Truth Transdermal C Balm, and Transdermal C Serum, all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, so I love talking to our guests. We always have interesting folks on the program today. We get to talk to Dr. David Seaman, who's got an interesting book out called The Deflame Diet. It's about inflammation. You know, we always talk about inflammation on this program. There is no such thing as a long-term chronic health challenge without some kind of underlying inflammatory condition, largely coming in through foods we eat and through the digestive system. And thus, I am very happy to welcome our guest, Dr. David Seaman, to the program. He's the author of the book, The Deflame Diet, Deflame Your Diet, Body, and Mind. Dr. Seaman actually came up with the term deflame, and his website is www.deflame.com. Please welcome to the bright side, Dr. David Seaman. Hey, Doc.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ben. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for being on, and thanks for your book as well. Really interesting, really easy to read. I want to talk to you a little bit about the book, but tell us about yourself real quick and how you got into understanding how important foods are and inflammation is as a cause of disease, and some of the other things you talk about here in the book.
Well, I got a bachelor's degree in biology with a concentration in nutrition, and then I went to chiropractic college because I was intrigued. I was using to be chiropractic college or physical therapy. I didn't want to do surgery or meds, and so I went to chiropractic college. And then in my first year or so, we learned about people who responded and didn't respond. And no one ever really talked about why people didn't respond. And if you do go to a chiropractor, if you're not feeling better in 4 treatments, it's probably not going to work. And I wanted to know why. And so shortly after I graduated, literally a year after I graduated, I was sitting in a neuroscience postgrad class, and it dawned on me for the first time, because I wasn't worried about exams or anything, that the pain system is driven by inflammatory chemistry, and I saw it differently than I did when I was in school. And those inflammatory chemicals, I realized most of them were related to what we eat. So that's what turned me on to it, and that was in 1987. So 30 years ago, I started doing this. Okay,
so let me stop you right there. Are you saying that even the chiropractic model, I mean, we were always ripping on the mainstream medical model, and their ignorance is, we can't go into that because that's so obvious. But even the chiropractic model doesn't recognize or didn't recognize the importance or the relevance or the critical nature of inflammation as a cause of disease?
Well, actually, it's very interesting. The founder of the profession, D.D. Palmer, he actually said in 1900 that inflammation is at the root of most diseases. But if you go to, for example, physical therapy school, you go to med school and you become an orthopedic surgeon, you go to chiropractic college, and to graduate a chiropractor and not know how to manipulate and use your hands, it's kind of not, you're not really a chiropractor. So you have to focus on your interventions.
But isn't it anti-inflammatory? Aren't those interventions themselves anti-inflammatory?
Well, they are. But you see, that was 30 years ago. It wasn't thought like that.
I see.
Yeah, 30 years ago, that really wasn't on the radar. 30 years ago, mainstream science did not consider chronic inflammation due to eating poorly, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and stress. There was no direct connection from those 4 drivers of chronic inflammation to the underlying cause of most chronic conditions. That did not exist. In actual fact, shockingly,
That is shocking.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It didn't exist. And so in 2002, I published a paper which is findable on PubMed, which is the National Library of Medicine's site for articles, literally the first paper ever published in the scientific literature where I introduced the term the diet-induced pro-inflammatory state.
Wow.
And in 2004, Harvard researchers were looking at diet and inflammation because it kind of like caught on. It wasn't because of me, but it caught on. And so they referenced 3 papers that were available. These are Harvard and CDC guys, Center for Disease Control guys. in 2004, they referenced 3 papers. There are only 3 to reference. Mine was one of them. That just speaks to how that concept did not exist in medicine, chiropractic, or anywhere else. Yeah, so it's not really like chiros. It's physiology that was, for example. Sorry?
But there's a phenomenon called postprandial inflammation that occurs no matter what you eat, correct?
Right, absolutely.
So even if you eat spinach or whatever, organic, people say, oh, I'm only eating lettuce. But lettuce can do it. Just after you eat, there's an inflammatory response. It's mounted, no matter what it is.
Actually, not for those things. Not for vegetation. Yeah. Postprandial inflammation occurs based upon the degree of, it occurs based upon the degree of glucose elevation and lipid elevation postprandial. So it's called postprandial glycemia, postprandial lipemia.
What about... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What about lectins? What about components in vegetation like gluten and lectins and such? Those can cause an inflammatory response, no?
But that is not in spinach, though.
Lectins?
And whatever lectins are in green vegetables are not
inflammatory.
Humans have adapted to them. We have less adaptation to lectins in no adaptation for lectins found in legumes, for example. They must be cooked, or you can have a real problem with raw lectins from legumes. So your whole grains and your legumes, those lectins are potentially inflammatory.
Got it. So you're basically saying that it's the sugar compounds and the lipid compounds that are causing the postprandial inflammation. And I do know that's true. I have read a lot about that. All right. So go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry to keep stepping on you here.
Okay.
Because I got so much I want to ask you here. So we use this. We're using this term inflammation. We throw it around a lot. I mean, everybody, even lay people, have heard it, hear it a dozen times a day. Inflammation, anti-inflammation. What exactly is inflammation, as you define it?
Okay. Well, so that your listeners know that this is not how I define it. The problem is when things get thrown around left and right, like people who actually just recently, Joe Rogan ripped on chiros, and I'm listening to this interview with this blogger who has no scientific publications at all, and he goes, well, I avoid gluten, and I avoid gluten, but doesn't it turn to sugar? No, gluten's a protein, man. I mean, maybe
Joe said this?
sometime. Yeah, Joe said this.
I love Joe Rogan, by the way.
Yeah, he's good. I know. I do too. But everybody can somehow. He just should have held back on this one anyway. So there's a misconception. Like, I'm gluten free. What's gluten? I don't know. So there's a lot of information out there where the general public throws around words as you said. So for example, if
Dr. Seaman, I hate to do this. We got to take a commercial break, but this is so interesting.
You got it.
Okay, hang on. All right, we're talking to Dr. David Seaman. His book is The D-Flame Diet. His website is dflame.com. Really cool book, easy to understand, very practical. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll finish up with Dr. David Seaman when we come back. We are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive pages at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. You'll find all the longevity products, as well as a search engine where you can search various programs by topic. If you have a client or a loved one, or you yourself have a health challenge that you want help with, you can head over to benfuchsarchives.com or brightsideben.com and check out our search engine and archives. You can also purchase all the longevity products off brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. And if you're interested in checking out our Truth Skin Health products, never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, oil, water, silicone, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. Truth Retinol 5% Gel, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, Truth Transdermal C Balm, and Transdermal C Serum, all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, so I love talking to our guests. We always have interesting folks on the program today. We get to talk to Dr. David Seaman, who's got an interesting book out called The D-Flame Diet. It's about inflammation. You know, we always talk about inflammation on this program. There is no such thing as a long-term chronic health challenge without some kind of underlying inflammatory condition, largely coming in through foods we eat and through the digestive system. And thus, I am very happy to welcome our guest, Dr. David Seaman, to the program. He's the author of the book, The Deflame Diet, Deflame Your Diet, Body, and Mind. Dr. Seaman actually came up with the term deflame, and his website is www.deflame.com. Please welcome to the bright side, Dr. David Seaman. Hey, Doc.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ben. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for being on, and thanks for your book as well. Really interesting, really easy to read. I want to talk to you a little bit about the book, but tell us about yourself real quick and how you got into understanding how important foods are and inflammation is as a cause of disease, and some of the other things you talk about here in the book.
Well, I got a bachelor's degree in biology with a concentration in nutrition, and then I went to chiropractic college because I was intrigued. I was using to be chiropractic college or physical therapy. I didn't want to do surgery or meds, and so I went to chiropractic college. And then in my first year or so, we learned about people who responded and didn't respond. And no one ever really talked about why people didn't respond. And if you do go to a chiropractor, if you're not feeling better in 4 treatments, it's probably not going to work. And I wanted to know why. And so shortly after I graduated, literally a year after I graduated, I was sitting in a neuroscience postgrad class, and it dawned on me for the first time, because I wasn't worried about exams or anything, that the pain system is driven by inflammatory chemistry, and I saw it differently than I did when I was in school. And those inflammatory chemicals, I realized most of them were related to what we eat. So that's what turned me on to it, and that was in 1987. So 30 years ago, I started doing this. Okay,
so let me stop you right there. Are you saying that even the chiropractic model, I mean, we were always ripping on the mainstream medical model, and their ignorance is, we can't go into that because that's so obvious. But even the chiropractic model doesn't recognize or didn't recognize the importance or the relevance or the critical nature of inflammation as a cause of disease?
Well, actually, it's very interesting. The founder of the profession, D.D. Palmer, he actually said in 1910, 1900, that inflammation is at the root of most diseases. But if you go to, for example, physical therapy school, you go to med school and you become an orthopedic surgeon, you go to chiropractic college, and to graduate a chiropractor and not know how to manipulate and use your hand, it's kind of not, you're not really a chiropractor. So you have to focus on your interventions.
But isn't it anti-inflammatory? Aren't those interventions themselves anti-inflammatory?
Well, they are. But you see, that was 30 years ago. It wasn't thought like that.
I see.
Yeah, 30 years ago, that really wasn't on the radar. 30 years ago, mainstream science did not consider chronic inflammation due to eating poorly, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and stress. There was no direct connection from those 4 drivers of chronic inflammation to the underlying cause of most chronic conditions. That did not exist. In actual fact, shockingly,
that is shocking.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It didn't exist. It didn't exist. And so in 2002, I published a paper which is findable on PubMed, which is the National Library of Medicine's site for articles. Literally the first paper ever published in the scientific literature where I introduced the term the diet-induced pro-inflammatory state.
Wow.
And in 2004, Harvard researchers were looking at diet and inflammation because it kind of like caught on. It wasn't because of me, but it caught on. And so they referenced 3 papers that were available. These are Harvard and CDC guys, Center for Disease Control guys. In 2004, they referenced 3 papers. There are only 3 to reference. Mine was one of them. That just speaks to how that concept did not exist in medicine, chiropractic, or anywhere else. Yeah, so it's not really like chiros. It's physiology that was. Well, for example. Sorry.
But there's a phenomenon called postprandial inflammation that occurs no matter what you eat, correct?
Right, absolutely.
So even if you eat spinach or whatever, organic, people say, oh, I'm only eating lettuce. But lettuce can do it. Just after you eat, there's an inflammatory response that's mounted, no matter what it is.
Actually, not for those things. Not for vegetation. Yeah. Postprandial inflammation occurs based upon the degree of... Yeah, it occurs based upon the degree of glucose elevation and lipid elevation postprandial. So it's called postprandial glycemia, postprandial lipemia.
What about... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What about lectins? What about components in vegetation like gluten and lectins and such? Those can cause an inflammatory response, no?
But that is not in spinach, though.
Lectins?
And whatever lectins are in green vegetables are not
inflammatory.
Yeah, humans have adapted to them. We have less adaptation to lectins in no adaptation for lectins found in legumes, for example. They must be cooked, or you can have a real problem with raw lectins from legumes. So your whole grains and your legumes, those lectins are potentially inflammatory.
Got it. So you're basically saying that it's the sugar compounds and the lipid compounds that are causing the postprandial inflammation. And I do know that's true. I have read a lot about that. All right. So go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry to keep stepping on you here.
Okay.
Because I got so much I want to ask you here. So we use this. We're using this term inflammation. We throw it around a lot. I mean, everybody, even lay people, have heard it, hear it a dozen times a day. Inflammation, anti-inflammation. What exactly is inflammation, as you define it?
Okay. Well, so that your listeners know that this is not how I define it. The problem is when things get thrown around left and right, like people who actually just recently, Joe Rogan ripped on Kairos, and I'm listening to this interview with this blogger who has no scientific publications at all, and he goes, well, I avoid gluten, and I avoid gluten, but doesn't it turn to sugar? No, gluten's a protein, man. I mean, maybe
Joe said this?
sometime. Yeah, Joe said this.
I love Joe Rogan, by the way.
Yeah, he's good. I know I do too. But everybody can somehow. He just should have held back on this one anyway. So there's a misconception. Like, I'm gluten free. What's gluten? I don't know. So there's a lot of information out there where the general public throws around words as you said. So for example, if
Dr. Seaman, I hate to do this. We got to take a commercial break, but this is so interesting.
You got it.
Okay, hang on. All right. We're talking to Dr. David Seaman. His book is The D-Flame Diet. His website is dflame.com. Really cool book, easy to understand, very practical. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll finish up with Dr. David Seaman when we come back.
Ralph, remember when you said you were going to start paying more attention to your health and now you're eating potato chips?
Just a few.
A few, okay, but you should be eating Superberry's Aronia berries.
Aronia what?
Aronia berries from superberries.com. They're known for having one of the highest levels of antioxidants that helps with overall wellness. Go to superberries.com/radio. And right now we get a free smoothie recipe book with our order. Plus we can save $4 at checkout.
Wow, look at all the benefits of these berries.
I know, Ralph, I know.
Choose health. Eat purple. Superberries.com. Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-765-9681 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-765-9681. Again, that's 800-765-9681.
Cancer categorizes over 100 diseases. Though we do not diagnose, treat, or cure cancer, GCN team is offering the Clemson University study where there was up to a 95% reduction in cancerous cells when exposed to a plant-derived mineral supplement. If you or a loved one are searching for answers to this horrifying disease, come to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. We'll email you a copy for free. That's 877-878-4203.
Lifetime Graze 100% grass-fed beef has the health benefits you seek. When compared to conventional beef, it offers good fats while virtually eliminating the bad. That's the result of cattle who never eat grain, ever. Rich in antioxidants, including vitamin E, C, beta-carotene, and CLA. No artificial hormones, antibiotics, or other drugs. For all our fresh, non-cooked products with only 100% grass-fed beef, go to MidasResources.com. Use voucher code GCN to get 30% off your order. MidasResources.com or find us on Facebook.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Love or loathe him, Donald J. Trump is our 45th president. There is no denying now that Trump will go down in history, both despised and admired. Commemorate Trump's presidency with your very own Trump silver bust from TrumpSilverStatue.com. This museum-quality heirloom Trump silver statue bust is hand-cast from 20 troy ounces of silver, a great investment from TrumpSilverStatue.com. Loathed or loved, own a valuable piece of Trump's legacy. Get your solid silver Trump bust today at TrumpSilverStatue.com.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, we are back on the bright side talking to Dr. David Seaman about his book, The Deflame Diet. Website is www.deflame.com. Okay, so Dr. Seaman, you there?
Yes.
All right, so continue on. We're talking about the word inflammation, and you were very astutely pointing out how we just throw words around glibly without knowing what they mean, and inflammation may fall into that category. So continue, please.
Inflammation actually absolutely does fall in that category. So people like wig out, like, will this inflame me? Will that inflame me? If you take a young kid who's 22 years of age and he has a donut once or twice a day, that he will have or she will have a postprandial low-grade inflammatory reaction. But if the rest of the day is otherwise fine, they maintain their body weight, a donut a day is not a big deal. Now, I don't eat a donut a day, but my point is you don't have to be, like, perfectly clean across the board because what happens is the biggest driver of now let's just say that you maintained your body weight for 20 years on donuts. Odds are you're going to flame up. You just won't be overweight. Now, most people, of course, 2/3 of the adult population are overweight. And we're not overweight because of spinach and broccoli. That is for sure. We're not overweight because of having steak and broccoli and a baked potato. We're overweight because of the endless sugar, flour, and refined oil calories that we eat, that we basically have a low-grade addiction response to, and think about eating all the time. People wake up in the middle of the night. If they do and they're hungry, what are they going to do? Grab salad? No, they're going to grab something sweet.
How much of that is emotional?
Huge. Eating itself is emotional because food makes you feel good in the moment, and that feel good is emotion. If we didn't have taste buds, no one they even in rat studies, they found that rats actually developed a preference for a sugar-sweetened solution, even though their taste buds were eliminated.
We're wired.
How powerful. Yeah.
We're hardwired. Dopamine, for example, oxytocin.
There you go. Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So let's get back to this inflammation. In the way you define it, and perhaps generally, what is inflammation exactly?
Okay. So inflammation is when any cell in the body can release either happy chemicals or unhappy chemicals. Too many unhappy chemicals basically are inflammatory chemicals. So if I slept only 3 hours last night, I would be more inflamed this morning, measured by these inflammatory chemicals called prostaglandins, cytokines. C-reactive protein is a popular measurement. Glucotrienes, right, all those guys. CRP is the most common way to measure overall inflammation. So
C-reactive protein for the listeners.
Exactly, C-reactive protein. So if you don't sleep well for a week straight, your CRP will be elevated compared to the way it was before. Now, it'll be a little bit, but the point, though, is that the body does not like substantial homeostatic, baseline function perturbations. So
it likes to stay steady state.
Right. We like a steady state. So when we disrupt that steady state, and we do it by, again, stress, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and then eating the wrong stuff. So when that goes on, our cells react as if, hey, something's wrong here, and they start to dump out inflammation signals, because inflammation is the first thing that happens in the healing response. So if you sprain
Very good point.
If you sprain your ankle, you want to have inflammation because
you don't have healing. There's no healing without inflammation. That's a really good point.
Yeah. But think of it like this, though. Imagine if you were to sprain your ankle and then just sprain it every day.
Yeah, low-level chronic kind of thing, like all the time. It never heals. You never get a chance to heal.
Heals.
Yeah. That's beautiful. All right, so listen, there's so much good stuff here. We're going to run out of time, and I want to give people some solutions. But real briefly, we've been talking about cholesterol in this. Well, we talk about it all the time. How the misunderstandings about cholesterol, how anabolic it is. It's important for growth and repair. And I was very happy to see a chapter in your book that really addresses this. Real quick, talk about cholesterol and inflammation and how cholesterol is so important for health.
It's absolutely amazing. Cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol are both anti-inflammatory. LDL is produced in excess of HDL because the body needs more LDL than it needs HDL. Now, what happens when you stop exercising and when you fatten up on sugar, flour, and refined oils, which is what everyone fattens up on, both the LDL particle and the HDL cholesterol particle, they both transform into a free radical oxidized
oxycholesterol.
Oxycholesterol.
Right, yeah.
And it happens to both HDL and LDL. And it's the LDL that's oxidized that the immune system reacts to as if it's an antigen, as in a bacterial antigen.
So we're addressing cholesterol because that's so easy to target, but nobody's addressing oxycholesterol.
Correct. Well, you have to also realize that, like, if we actually direct, this is really interesting about cholesterol. What actually helps to create part of the problem is you obviously talk about metabolic syndrome on your show.
A lot, yes.
Yeah, the metabolic syndrome state is one where you produce extra LDL, and you either or both produce less HDL, and then we more rapidly degrade HDL. And that metabolic syndrome.
Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And that metabolic syndrome state is what causes the oxidation of LDL and HDL cholesterol, rendering them, because HDL is supposed to keep LDL cholesterol in a non-oxy state.
It's protective.
And so what happens is when you eat sugar and flour, the insulin response is what actually stimulates the enzyme that statins inhibit.
How fascinating. HMGA, co-reductase.
Right, HMG co-reductase.
Right, and that means more coenzyme Q10 and more of the anabolic stuff, because cholesterol is a building substance, correct?
Well, you don't make more CoQ10 when you're hyperinsulinemic. That's the thing, because when you shut down from HMG-CoA, it goes 4 ways. And the big biosynthetic pathway is for cholesterol, all your steroids, bile acids, vitamin D, all that kind of stuff. And so what gets driven, it appears more, is the cholesterol pathway out of that 4. And so then they got to give you a statin, and then when they do that, they turn off all 4 pathways, which means you lose CoQ10, you lose Heme A, and Heme A functions just like CoQ10 operationally to make ATP. Energy.
Nothing makes me more embarrassed to be a pharmacist than this whole statin mania, to be clear here. It's an awful thing. We've been talking about it for the last few days. All right, so we're going to run out of time, but I want to give people some solutions. Somebody has an autoimmune disease, they got diabetes, they're overweight, their doctor's telling them they got to be on a statin drug. Give us like 3 or 4 things that they could do right away.
Okay, well, this is like, I would watch the movie Fathead. It shows a guy who basically spent 30 days going to McDonald's, eating less calories, walking, and he loses weight. His HDL went down because of the trans fats. But the point is of that movie, which is absolutely accurate, is less calories. Less calories is the most important thing that we can do.
Calorie restriction.
A colleague of mine, 40 pounds overweight, and he decides to just do a 600-calorie diet per day, and 300 or 400 calories was actually a double cheeseburger at McDonald's. And in less than 2 months, he was free of his diabetes.
Wow.
So that just speaks to the power. Nothing is more anti-inflammatory than less calories.
Okay,
if you go
great.
less calories, that's going to disrupt your limbic eating brain, and you're going to have to do a battle with your mind. So you have to become zen with your mind. The first and most important thing is zenning out your brain, making a mental commitment, use your frontal lobe to inhibit the lower drives to overeat. That is the most important thing. Forget eat this, eat that, all this BS about superfoods. No such thing. If you can cure diabetes in less than a month on a burger.
Yeah, right. That's not a superfood. That's not a superfood. Yeah, right.
So forget those words. So what this guy could have done is he could have had that burger and then had pounds of vegetation on top of it, because an entire pound of that spring mix that you can get pre-washed,
couple hundred calories.
100 calories.
Yeah, all right. All right, so calorie restriction, zen out. What about meditation?
I'm not a meditator, but if it works for you, do it. It all depends upon what works for you. Like if you sit there like going crazy, that means you should probably go exercise.
How about supplements?
Supplements? I'm a basic guy. If there's an economical issue, fish oil, vitamin D, magnesium, not to treat this condition or that condition, because those three are involved in multiple anti-inflammatory reactions, and those three, particularly in terms of magnesium and vitamin D, they're really deficient.
How about vitamin? I hate to keep interrupting you. There's so much good stuff to say. We'll have to have you back on, and we're out of time. What about vitamin D from the sun versus supplements?
If you can get in the sun, sun's better. But if you can't, then just take the D from supplements.
All right. Hey, Doc, we're just out of time, but we'll definitely have you back on. That was very, very enlightening. Appreciate it. And please send me those links when you get a chance, okay, Dr. Seaman?
You got it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Dr. David Seaman, the book is The D-Flame Diet. His website is dflame.com. It's chock full of really easy to understand and easy to use information. The dflame.com. dflame.com. The book is The D-Flame Diet. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, awesome, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
It's